Karen Bonifilio, Outer Realms, Inner Journeys. I know I always tell you this, but it's true. We have a real treat today. We're going to talk to Kelly Brickel today. Kelly, would you like to say hello?
Hello, everybody. Hi, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me on.
I'm excited to have you on. And you know what? I asked her for her bio and I found out a whole bunch more about her than I didn't know. So if all works well, she will be back. So let me tell you a little bit about her. She's a psychic medium, and that's what we're going to discuss today. She's also a numerologist, a healer, a spiritual teacher, and an owner of the metaphysical broadcasting company Sacred Spiral Network, which launched in 2024. She is the producer of that. And I told her when I grow up, I want her to produce my show too. So she has over 12 years of metaphysical experience in service as a professional. She is a certified master teacher of psychic mediumship through Lisa Williams International School of Spiritual Development. She's a certified Reiki master teacher. She's a co-author of 2 books, I had no clue, and a dedicated numerologist that travels around the United States demonstrating her gift. Um, I lost my spot. Oh, Kelly's passions are learning about the soul and energy, whether the connection is through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers. There is always a pathway to information waiting to help you. And I have learned that the last few years. You can find Kelly teaching, conversing, and sharing her gifts weekly on the Sacred Spiral Network, as well as her podcasts, The Psychic Hour and the Numerology Hour. No clue about that. For events and classes you can schedule, and her links are below. So this girl, she's got a lot going on. So I want to find out about all of this. But let's talk about being a psychic medium first. Um, just kind of tell us your story, Kelly. Kelly, how you developed, when you knew, and just about you. Let's find out about you.
Sure, yeah, just guide me where you want me to go. With being a psychic medium, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a reference when I was younger what that was, so I really had to develop the understanding for myself personally.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of alone time when I was younger because I was going through some health struggles. So I would meditate, and my body was very sensitive during that time. So I started to experience weird things where I would feel other people's emotions stronger, or I was aware of things like guides or people's energy and further things about their energy being around me. And I'm like, what is that? What is that? And I was very logical with it. So, yeah. So I believed in God and I had a spiritual connection, but I had no idea that that was a part of it. I just didn't understand what mediumship was, what psychic was. I only knew about people maybe giving readings at fairs. And again, there wasn't a connection to that. I didn't know about spiritualism. I didn't know about people meditating and connecting to the universe or God or something sacred through your higher self, right? So that was a
Mm-hmm.
journey that I had to go on to get to where I am now. And I came to it from a very logical perspective at first. I'm like, okay, well, I know this exists. And I found my way to, let's say, watching the Sylvia Browne show, and I'd watch that a lot back in the day. And I felt like really connection with material because she would talk about the
Yes.
things that I was experiencing personally myself. And I started reading books. But I started going, well, all right, this is possibly very real. Uh, but is it also just a scam? Like truly, that's how I was thinking when I was a teenager. I was like, is this a scam? Because why aren't more people doing this? Wouldn't it be fantastic to know that you can talk to your loved ones? Wouldn't it be fantastic to know how to trust people because you can sense and feel into their soul or have compassion and empathy for them?
Right.
Wouldn't be good to
Right.
know like a little bit about your future if you're getting kind of future hits on things that are coming your way. And again, it wasn't enough where it was happening to me every day where I was like, oh my gosh, 100%, 100%. But it was enough
Mhm.
where I'm like, this is something. And I feel like there's enough for me to explore this. And I have to
Mhm.
take myself seriously a little bit. But I really, really was like, I'm going to debunk this, or this is so fantastic and I'm going to help promote this. And that's what I felt was my life's mission. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but
Mhm.
that's how passionate I was about it. So when I actually found a little bit more grounding and tracking with it, I became very, devoted to. I want to be a psychic medium, and I'm going to do this and that, and that's why I do so many things because I'm very excited that this exists for people, for myself, and for others. And I
Mhm.
think everybody has access to this gift. One of my first experiences that helps ground the energy, because I could really go into some stories when um, I was learning things and figuring things out. And I went to
Oh,
a lot
we
of
love
workshops and
stories.
read. So I can go that direction too.
Yes.
But
But I do
around,
wanna ask you something.
sure, sure, sure.
When you first started and you were not, physically doing well, how old were you?
Like that happened around the ages of like 13
Okay.
to 15 and 16.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like I would say the toughest period was around 15 to 16. And I was very sensitive to food. I was having a very difficult time
Oh.
sleeping. My brain was overstimulated, and now that's really a part of naturally um I think being a medium, we just are aware of so
Mhm.
much information, and at night it quiets down. So then all of a sudden we're aware of even more information.
Right.
It's a part of kind of what makes my brain do what it's able to do. But it was, and it still is, a learning curve how to learn energy management. Absolutely.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right? But when you're young and you're like, my brain won't turn off, and then it's not just because I'm thinking, it's because I'm really sensitive and getting a bunch of other things.
Yes.
I don't
Mhm.
feel very comfortable, and I'm really trying to figure myself out. I'm really confused, but I know I'm not completely crazy, but I think I'm kind of crazy. But really, no, it was a bunch of finding answers.
Just a little crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because if you're not integrated into society, you think you have a piece of crazy, right? And really,
Yes.
the more I talk to people in this industry, because I would go to workshops and conferences with Hay House authors and bestsellers, and I would talk to them and listen to them talk, and the things I was experiencing, that was normal for them. Or they would encourage that, like, oh,
Mhm.
encourage that side of yourself. That's you breaking through, or that's your subconscious no longer directing you. You're conscious now. And you get to choose. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So
Mhm.
some of the best are saying, go for it. You're fine. And then, the on the flip side, how I've been raised to think what was normal, it was dragging me down. So it was a complete evolution of self and understanding.
Wow. I think you had to go through whatever illness you had to bring you to that point too, also. That was part of your journey that was included.
Yes,
And
definitely.
did your family know what you were going through, or did they shut that down, or help you explore it?
I would say they did and they didn't because they didn't know exactly why all the things that were happening where I couldn't sleep. So, we were going to the doctor and studying that, but it wasn't a
Yes.
clear cut understanding of why my brain wouldn't turn off. Um, but they did start to see that I would meditate, and then they did start to see like that I was my mood was more positive, and that I was putting my time and energy towards things I cared about. So they're like, we don't know exactly all of this, but this is a very positive thing within you.
Well,
And
that's good.
my
Hmm.
dad was kind of curious because he had read books back
Oh,
in the
he had.
day, where he's like, oh, this is something that I'm kind of curious about your experience in. So he would ask me questions from time to time. And my mom was too, but she's like, I don't know. She's like, I don't know a little bit, but she was again, not discouraging, but not super like we understand
Mhm.
what's going on and let's actively talk about this. It was more
Mhm.
we gently encourage you because we see something positive about it.
Great,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, not how can I put it? Not in a way where they knew step to step to step always the inner process or what that looked like or what I was experiencing. Yeah.
Well, and your dad seemed fascinated with it too.
Yes.
And you're kind of like Brian Weiss, and I don't know if you've read
Yes.
anything by him.
Yes.
He went to disprove all of this and then found out, um, there is something to all of this. So,
Absolutely.
and the reincarnation and such.
Brian Weiss was one of those people at the conferences that I gravitated to, so I got to see him do his thing a couple of times.
Are
Yeah.
you kidding?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, no, I'm not. But
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I was really lucky in my backyard, about 45 minutes from where I lived. Um, there were so many people that came to a conference called Celebrate Your Life, if you ever heard of it.
Oh gosh, Kelly, I am so jealous. I am. Maddie, stop it.
He's
Sorry.
excited. He's really excited about the story.
Well, and they feed off the energy when I'm talking to people here. So then they get excited. It's like, settle down, dog. They're usually good when I interview, but I can't control them all the time.
Well,
Wow.
you're picking up kind of on. I want to validate you too, because you're psychically picking up a part on the story of me coming into me that I don't always think about.
Hmm.
But I found out about Celebrate Your Life because I was reading a Dr. Brian Weiss book,
Oh,
and I was like, "Oh, he's in town. I better check that out." And that's how. Yes,
who
that
else did you see? If you saw him, you saw other people too. I am.
yes.
I'm jealous.
Oh, but these conferences still exist in
Hmm.
Scottsdale, Arizona. They happen every year, but they used to come to Illinois, and so Dr. Brian Weiss was there, Lisa Williams, Sonia Choquette, uh, Colette Baron Reed, John Holland. I could go on and on.
Heavy hitters.
Laura,
Heavy hitters. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Dr. Joe Dispenza. Uh, I'm trying to think. Yeah,
Beautiful
Dr.
lineup.
Wayne Dyer. Yeah, I could
Hmm.
just go on and on. Yes.
Okay.
Doreen
Good
Virtue,
for
right? I
you,
can keep going.
Kelly. My gosh. Going down this road, you had no clue, and it just opened up for you. So tell us about some of your memorable experiences, or because a lot of people on this channel have not had readings. And so this is a new avenue for a lot of people.
Yes. Okay. So about my experience with being a reader, how should
Yes.
I?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, I do psychic and mediumship readings and also numerology readings, and they're all different. And so the psychic and mediumship part, a lot of times they can blend together, but as a professional psychic and medium, our job is to understand when we're dealing with psychic energy and also when we're dealing with mediumship energy. So the psychic
Hmm.
part is when we are tuning into you and your
Yes.
life, and
Hmm.
we're looking at your path. So we're looking into who
Hmm.
you've been to validate what we're getting now and going
Hmm.
forward. And also talking about things that you've been going through and validating you personally, because your soul is oscillating by certain questions and experiences. You're like, which
Hmm.
way should I go? And am I doing the right thing? And we're not there
Right.
to give you an answer for everything because that is your soul's journey, but we're here to remind you of evidence. And also, this is one of my favorite things as a psychic, and I do specialize in psychic work. I would say more so than mediumship work is I talk about people's feelings a lot. So I go, this experience made you feel A, B, and C. And they go, yes, it did. I'm like, it's
Hmm.
important to highlight that. Um, and they go, oh, yeah, yes, I did feel that. I do. So it's almost like you're reminding them about maybe sometimes the answer that they've already gotten to themselves. So it's
Right.
like a soul remembrance
Hmm.
in a lot of ways, and that's really cool. because you can go into memories, thoughts, and feelings. And then sometimes it's future stuff like, oh, I feel the trajectory of what's coming up for you. And that's always fascinating the way that it comes into as well. So it's a comprehensive like snapshot of your life, and you're just really passive as the psychic to see what comes up. And same with mediumship. It's a passive experience where spirit comes to you, and that's through the heart connections of the person receiving the reading's experiences. And you're
Mm-hmm.
telling the spirit their mother, father, uncle, friend's story, and also you are with them and they have messages about their life as well, the sitter, the person coming in for the reading. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really how can you put it, we're truly mediums. Like, we help bridge energy that's already naturally there. We're just
Right.
sensitive enough to collect it and say,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is real because I'm collecting this piece of information and that piece of information. And so, you know, what I'm saying is resonating with you and who
Mm-hmm.
you are. So that's how I'd kind of describe it.
So when you do those, you combine the psychic and the mediumship at the same session.
Not always.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people go, I want strictly mediumship. And I go, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sure. I think that they naturally go together.
Oh, I
So,
love it together. Yeah.
yeah, I think that you should really honor the flow of energy, but there is a way to, let's say, all of a sudden, if you're aware of something psychically, to move back into mediumship, because you could be aware of a story with grandma. Okay. So this
Yeah.
is like an example. I'm aware that I have your grandma with you, and I'm aware that when you'd go to visit grandma, that she had a cobblestone walkway, and she had flowers in her entryway, and she would come
Mm-hmm.
out and greet you. And they'd be like, and that's a beautiful piece of evidence. Someone might be like, wow, you're really with my grandma. But
Mm-hmm.
as the psychic and the medium, I would say, I might say to the person, if I was teaching somebody, I definitely would point this out. I would say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm aware of that from your memory. So let me go back into your grandma. I'm aware because I'm walking as you walk up to her house to greet her. So I
Mm-hmm.
know this from your own memory. Thank you. Let me go talk to her. Okay. Let me pull her in
Mm-hmm.
closer. I'm not quite with your grandma all the way. So that's a psychic connection, even though we're
Yep.
connecting to grandma. So do you see how it's different?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do definitely. Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so not everyone knows that. And sometimes we're in a beautiful reading, but we're not always aware of how the energy is coming in and how we're truly connecting to it. And there
Mm-hmm.
are mechanics for us to go deeper into some places if we really need to. But I think it's all beautiful and all work. As long as it all works and as long as you're accurate, I'm very happy about how people do readings in general. So that's how I feel.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
I find personally for myself, I like to do it a couple times a year. I think it's a nice little tune up, make sure I'm on my correct path and making good choices for myself. And I got pushy spirits that like to come in and they are going to be hurt no matter what. So, but that's all good because I love
Yes.
hearing from them too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wake up messages. What are you doing? But it encourages, right, like some reflection, right? It's in a compassionate, fun way. What are we doing?
Right. Well, I talk to my team every day and in prayer, and I'm just so grateful when people realize that they do have a team there that's willing to help them out and wanting to help them out. And going through someone like you can bridge that connection and help them get that connection, and they can find out things. Yeah.
It's fascinating. It's
It is
fascinating.
fascinating. Were you nervous at first? I don't think you were because you were off experimenting on your own before you even, yeah. So I don't think you were nervous about going down this road.
Uh, Not nervous going down this road, I would say. In the
Mhm.
very beginning, sure, because literally I was being logical about it, thinking, okay, philosophy or psychology, right? That's a career where I can wrap my head around. But
They're
then I was like,
vastly different.
no.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
they're vastly different.
They're vastly
Philosophy and
different, but I was
psychology.
thinking in my head, uh, if I'm picking up on information from people, I can do that to help them in a therapy setting when I was trying to
Yes.
fit it in a box. When I was trying to
Hmm.
fit it in a box.
Hmm.
So there was that when I was letting go of that, I was a little bit nervous, but not for long because it felt really, really good. And then I was nervous while I was doing it because I wanted to make sure I was real and accurate, and I put a lot of pressure on myself. So people
Hmm.
wouldn't make me nervous always, but I would make myself
Yes, you.
nervous because I
Hmm.
had like I felt responsibility to people.
Yes, but not anymore because you know that you're accurate. Tell us
I've
about a
relaxed
memorable
a lot more.
and relax. Yeah,
Become
relaxing
more
is
positive.
the key too. Yeah. So tell us about one of your experiences that you remember that was profound or just felt really good. You helped somebody out, or
Oh my gosh, I should have these. I should have these in my brain ready to go.
oh, I'm
It's
sorry.
no, it's okay. It's so funny because I think about this sometimes. Um, because when they're happening, they're from spirit. So
Oh yes.
it's almost like that gorgeous blast of whatever happens. It's not
Hmm.
from you. So it's like not even a part of your memory sometimes. You're just like, oh, I'm glad that
Yes.
happened. Um,
Hmm.
oh my gosh,
It's okay. I won't put you on the spot.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one. I'm just like I wish I had more. No, I should. It's on me. But I would say that some of the cool ones would be that it's fascinating. Like sometimes people will come in for readings and they will say, um, within the reading, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm looking at multiple places, for work, and nothing's really
Mhm.
sticking and I'm worried, right? And within the reading, it comes up like, okay, well, I'm seeing this building and this building's like this. And there's marble inside or there's wood inside, but you start describing the interior or the exterior or the rooms, and it's like that feels like when I'm looking at that for you, that's going to be like your new work home, or that's the place that you go and the energy just lifts off because when I tune into your energy, there's so much information about this new place you're going and it feels good. And
Mhm.
it astounds me because like a month later or, 2 months later, I'll get an email and they're just like, wow, the interior of the building when I walked in was like gray
Yeah.
marble and right and this and that. I'm just like, that's just so weird, right? You don't even think about it. So validations with
Yes.
yeah, where people are going. I think
And
that's fantastic. That's one that always goes wow for me. Or there's been hellos from heaven. Like for instance, I was doing a reading. I'm like, oh, there's a soul coming on in. We were finishing the reading, right? There's a soul coming in that really wants to say hi really quick, and so I gave a name. And then the person's like, oh my gosh, my daughter's pregnant right now, and they just decided on the name for the kid. And so she got a hello in heaven for her granddaughter to be with her name. And
oh
I just thought
wow.
that was so sweet and kind of like,
Wow.
whoa, wow.
Mhm.
I could go on and on as I try to think about things. But yeah, like coming into this experience, kind of what I guess I'll say one more. What really made me go whoa when I was learning about it was I sometimes would hear when
Mhm.
people were talking, I would hear like a word or two before they would say it out loud. So
Really?
yeah, and I would think I was
Wow.
crazy, but,
That
a
is
little bit. But then I,
nuts.
but then I wasn't crazy because they would say the word. So,
You are crazy. Just a little, Kelly.
we're all a little crazy, right? Right? We all have a touch
We
of
all are.
madness. Exactly, exactly. But they would say a word, And in my head,
Yeah.
because that's following the conversation, so I had like the cadence of the conversation within my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then a word would be said, and I'm like, oh, I wouldn't say that. That's a weird word. And really, it's because I was just hooked into their energy further of what they
Yes.
chose to do with the conversation rather than what I was feeling about the conversation. So there's a story that I tell sometimes where I was eating. Oh no, they were eating potato chips. So I was in a class and they were eating potato chips. They had just come back from getting a vending machine snack, and so
Mm-hmm.
they were just talking about something random. And they reached down, had a potato chip, and in my brain, like there is a sensation and thought of, this is crunchy, and I'm just like, that's like really obvious. That's not really that special of information.
Yeah.
Um, and that's really weird to think that, but okay. And then he goes, this is crunchy. Like, you know what I mean? Like right after. And
I
stuff
want
like that
some.
would happen. It would be
Uh-huh.
it would be random stuff. And sometimes it'd be helpful stuff. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, like yeah, the cops. If I was speeding and a cop was in the area, I would hear the word cop, and then I'd slow down and I'd see a cop show up. So I put all these heads up about something that was coming, and it was so
That's
fun.
cool.
Yeah. I think spirit was trying to lighten me up when I was younger. Watch for this, watch for that. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Um,
you didn't get tickets either, which is nice.
yeah, right. If I'd listened, sure. And
Yeah.
100%, yes, right. 100%.
I think your team likes to play with you. I think they're a very playful team, it sounds like.
Yes, I'm very playful, and right, when you invite that in, they will work with you
Mhm.
the same. My team's very playful, absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, can I ask you about your numerology? Can you discuss that a little bit? Because that's fascinating.
Absolutely. So, what would you like to know with it? I could, again, a million different directions.
Well, what do you do with numerology?
Sure, absolutely. So,
I
I'm a
mean,
oh,
do you do like birth charts, sun? Okay, yeah, yeah. Just
abs-
tell us a little bit about it.
sure. So, there's a lot to do with numerology. So, I do charts with people wanting to know their numbers, and there's basic charts and extensive charts. I do relationship readings and business readings too with numerology. It's learning about people's energy, and you're learning about it through understanding archetypes and sequences that come up within their chart. And there's different systems within numerology. I am a Western Pythagorean numerologist, and
Oh,
that is the system that I use. So not
mhm.
everyone's going to come to, like, let's say, we're going to come to similar conclusions, but we might find it through a different vehicle. Not all numerologists are the same with how they work, which I think is
Mhm.
great. Um, but that's the system I use. And so, right, some of the work, if someone wants an extensive chart reading, is going to be almost similar to astrology. You're looking for different things, but you're doing a chart reading. And same with synastry. People come for relationship readings with synastry and astrology, and you're comparing charts and you're understanding the compatibility within
Oh,
people,
that's
whether it's
that's
friends,
interesting.
family, or.
Hmm.
Mhm.
What if they
Yeah.
aren't compatible?
Well, you would be validating people's already experiences. And if,
That's true. Yeah,
yes,
that's true.
yes,
Hmm.
and you would let people know it is workable, but it is not going to be something that is going to be a natural experience always. You're going to have to
Hmm.
release a lot of ego and understand that that person just works very differently from you. And if you can make peace with that, then there's a shot at the relationship.
Oh, very cool. Um, I remember I had my chart read years ago, and this guy was talking to me, and I couldn't understand what he was talking about. I couldn't, and he would be really excited about it. And I go, okay, and then I'd ask him, and he would just kind of repeat the same thing. And I thought, I don't understand, So, but I have found other people that can break it down so I can understand what's going on in my chart.
But that's exactly right. So with astrology and numerology, there's a lot to understand. And
Yes.
so, um, a lot of the readings that I do to make it more, I guess, a natural experience is I do numerology and psychic readings where I just tell people I'm
Oh.
looking at their numbers. And if they want to know about the number, they ask me. But if not, I just do a reading based on their numbers and also psychic energy. And so they can experience the numbers, but not go, oh my God, what does that mean? And I'm not going to remember this because there's a lot. There's a lot.
And a lot of words I didn't understand. I mean,
Yes.
I just didn't, and I thought, okay, yeah,
It's technical.
it's very technical. And I'm not mathematically inclined either. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Yeah.
No, back in the day. So this was one of the reasons I used to avoid astrology because back in the day, if you were an astrologer, you actually had to deal with angles. Um, because you're looking at things like triangles and squares and
Yep.
how planets linked up. And people used to have to do that manually. But now that's all automated and it's so easy. Um, but
That's why I
yeah,
had
no,
it
hey,
done.
no, you just have to really like it. You just only have to really like it now.
It's good that now you can do it through technology.
Yes.
Yeah. Very cool. Now you got a lot going on. You call, oh my gosh. Tell us about your channel. Tell us about that.
Sure. Sacred Spiral Network. That was birthed out of just my love for helping other people showcase who they are. And there's a lot of people on the flip side in need of wanting content from people who are experienced and who have good hearts and good work ethic, where
Mhm.
they can understand what things are in the spiritual realm, what a psychic is, what a medium is, what a psychic reading looks like, what a mediumship uh, reading looks
Reading.
like, what
Mhm.
numerology is, what paranormal research is, coaching, angel reading. A lot of people, they're finding that through a random YouTube video, and some of the people that they find randomly are great. Oh my gosh, I found so many good people just going down the rabbit hole of YouTube. But for people who don't know about what it means to be these things or coming into
Mhm.
development, it's good to have a whole entire just lineup of people who've been vetted and are trusted and who really, really do care and show up every week to give people that space, that container, if they actually want to think about things spiritual, or if they want to be more self aware, if they want to have philosophical conversations. Growing up, I used to listen to a lot of Hay House Radio, and
Yes.
it was a sanctuary. And so I'm kind of inspired a little bit by that, just to have a lineup of wonderful people where people go, I'm glad that I can turn on the computer and just look and see if something's on.
So you
So
have different people on that channel,
yes,
but you're not interviewing them, are you?
on my show. So like for instance, right now we have 15 shows on Sacred
Mhm.
Spiral Network, and I have like 2 to 3 of those shows. We're still growing. We're getting new people in, so it's really growing. I kind of launched it last year to get everybody into the mix. So it's really growing quite fast.
I'm
But
gonna check
I
that
have the
out.
psychic
Mhm.
hour where I do interview people who are psychics, mediums, and intuitives about their life story. And then I
Mhm.
have the psychic hour reading show where we talk, but I do live readings for people. And then I
Mhm.
have the numerology hour where I do live numerology readings for people and I teach them about numbers. So yes,
Um,
they're all interactive shows. They're all live shows.
but
Yes.
they're recorded so people can get
No,
those.
they're all
Oh, they're
live.
not.
We record them sometimes. So like if someone's out
Oh.
of town and or if they are for their preference if they want to record a show, absolutely. We have that faculty and we have used it before in certain situations.
Oh.
But it is a live format so people can interact with the
Tune in.
hosts and ask questions and have readings. Hmm.
So on your website, people can
Yes.
go and see the different options, and then do they pre-register for that too, or can they just tune in that day?
They can just tune in that day. You find a YouTube platform, a Facebook platform, Twitch, LinkedIn, and those will be up and live. They're connected to Sacred Spiral Network or the hosts network platforms too as well. For instance, all the hosts, their social media is engaged because
Right.
yeah, they will have their video going live on their Facebook or their YouTube as well. So it gets engagement for Sacred Spiral as well as the host coming in and sharing their gifts as well.
Wow, I'm gonna check out your website and tune into some of your things. It sounds really
Please.
fascinating. It does. Yeah. Okay. And tell us, what's our time? Okay, got a couple minutes. Tell us about your books that you co-authored. Quiet, Maddie.
Okay, yeah.
God,
It's okay. He's excited again.
stop it.
In 2019, it's so funny. In November, they came out at the same time, November 2019. And
Mhm.
one of them was actually, both of them, excuse me, were collaborative projects. They were kind of like a chicken soup of the soul.
Oh yeah.
One is natural and organic healing, and it was different modalities that people could understand about how to heal
Mhm.
themselves or to have a better lifestyle,
Wonderful.
and going into the multiple perspectives of that. So, whether it's essential oils, Reiki, meditation, Ho'oponopono, just different views of life. So, there's
Perfect.
that. And then there's also Kindness Crusader, and that was very
Oh,
similar to the chicken soup of the soul
nice.
format, and it was all stories devoted to how you could be kind in life or acts of service where people were helping others. So um, that was 6 years ago, and
I like that.
I have them back there. If you really want to see them, I can pop them out. But yeah,
Oh, pop
yeah.
them out. Let's see them.
Let me try to find them. Okay, let
Well,
me
if
see. Let me
no.
see. Let me see.
Oh, Kelly,
I
I'm
do have
sorry.
them. No, no, no. Where
Poor
are
Kelly
you?
didn't know she was going to be talking about all of this today,
If I can
but she's
find,
still.
I should have them. Where? Good Lord, where? Oh, I got one.
Well, when we agreed to have this interview, she didn't know I was going to be asking her
Okay,
all of this. So,
here's one.
oh, there you go.
It's a big book, Kindness Crusader.
It is. I love that. And I got to tell you, I am all about kindness and love and compassion and empathy. So I'm going to need to check out that book too.
It's forwarded by Emmanuel Dogger.
Okay.
He is a wonderful energy practitioner and advocate. He's done amazing, amazing things.
Okay.
He's spoken to Congress about peace. Um, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think about his accomplishments. He's written several books and been keynote speakers at a lot of spiritual conferences. And
Okay.
he's just a very conscientious man about peace and energy work. And he's a powerhouse in himself. So, Emmanuel Dogger.
I'm going to tell you, you do great with going with the flow. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
I do for the most part, right?
I was trying to tell the audience, she didn't know I was going to be, I didn't know all the stuff about her, and it's kind of fun to learn. But honey, you have been wonderful. You really have. I've enjoyed you so much. I'm going to be checking out your the links down below and tuning into some of your broadcasts. So I know when I did Jennifer's church, not last week or yesterday or 2 days ago, because I was interviewing, but when I did it before, I told Nancy, I said, I'm just putting on lipstick and eyebrows. So I am, that's it. It's Sunday. I don't want to get gussied up. Yeah.
That's how I feel sometimes on Sunday. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. I think you came on at the very last when the service was ending or something.
Oh, yeah. So usually with Jennifer's Service for the Love of Spirit, I do a healing meditation. So I lead them through that. But Allison Gannon had memorial service. And that was a very well-known medium in the
Oh,
area of Southern California, and she did things around the United States, and that was her service at the same time. So I was over there, and I was
oh,
helping with some of that, and then I was able to really come in at the end and just say hi to
at the end of it.
everybody. Yes, that's what
Yeah.
it was.
Okay. All right, Miss Kelly, you are magnificent. And I want to thank you for coming on to the channel.
Thank you,
Okay.
Karen.
We're
Thanks
going to
for
say
having
goodbye,
me.
but hang in there for a minute. Don't go all the way off. Okay. Okay. Thank you.